Welcome back, everybody, to the studio segment of the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Season Masters League, brought to you by OMEN by HP HyperX Intel, and also presented to you by lovely peeps at Northern Gaming.
Breathe, Vagish, breathe.
Nee,
we wouldn't want you passing
just because
out.
I look like, just because if I take off my glasses and look like Baba Ramdev, I don't have to go like.
Please put your glasses back on.
I don't have to do that, okay? I don't have to do that. Please, I
Let's
don't have
not
to
bring
do that.
Ramdev into this, okay? The next thing we know is powered by Patanjali.
But oh, that if that happens, ladies
all natural
and
esports for you, 100% natural.
100% organic esports. This has been cultivated in the fields of Gondwana. God knows where that is.
I will put his photo there, by the way.
No, so production says our servers are cooled by.
Yes, but anyways, moving forward.
I think you got the gist. But sure, there'll be a hand coming in once in a while from Piche giving Ashirwad like this. And there'll be divine rays hitting us. Organic divine rays hitting us. That will be fun. But guess what? We are not organic. We are pure and sheer grit, resolution, and team spirit. Because that's what esports stands at and stands for. So that brings us to the game at hand here. We have an amazing CSGO game lined up for you guys. I already mentioned to you the teams which are going to be having a showdown. It's going to be Brutality versus Entity Esports. So let's quickly take a look at the first team, Team Brutality. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's Team Brutality for you guys. One of the oldest CSGO teams in the country.
One of the most famous. I don't know if they're the oldest, but
they are one of the oldest and also one of the oldest. They are they're actually they're one of those few most loved teams in the country because they have been at it since 1.6. Our analyst and the head of ESL India Premiership property Aditya Adi Shah, who you will be also hearing casting this game. Because A, he's lazy, B, he's from South Bombay, so he presumes that he's privileged, and C, well, he's lazy. And so he decided to like cast this game from Bombay and not join us here in the studio. But that's not the case. The case is that he used to play for this team earlier. If a lot of people who are oldies, when I say oldies, don't take it the other way. I'm mentioning this term because I'm presuming the fact that you know how these teams were. So right now, the current roster of Brutality is actually the actual Brutality roster, because A-Star and Foxy have joined Brutality. Adi used to play for them at a point in time, so considering he's a pro player. And Brutality off late, I have to say, have been doing tremendously well. They had an unbeaten streak.
And they lost to SRA.
Till the time they met SRA, who literally slaughtered while they raged at them with their army. At this loss, if it would have come from Invictus, I would have taken it with pride and said, okay, Invictus made them lose that game.
Listen, I would like to stop you there. First of all, I want to say SRA is not like, of course, Brutality is Brutality, right? It's one of the better teams, best teams, that we have. However, SRA still kind of sits in the Master Leagues.
Sure. Like nowhere I'm taking any of the sheen and the glory away from SRA. That was a game and a job well done. And that is how.
You dethrone someone from the #1 slot.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to give a BBC Planet Earth-esque or Planet Blue-esque kind of a, you know how I give examples, right? I mean, that's how a bunch of piranhas decide, you know what, we've had enough of these sharks. Let's eat them up inside out. And that's how piranhas do, you know. They don't leave any trace of them being there. You just see like trickles of like bone mash and like little blood. And that's what happened with Brutality there. Not that they didn't play well. They did. Sadly, it was a piranha day, not a shark day here.
Well, let's talk about the second team. They've not been doing so well, but I'll let you introduce them.
Yeah. Let's get to put faces to the name Entity Gaming. I like the fact that Entity Gaming, look, Can we have both the team images in the screen? Yeah. So when we take a look at both these teams, Gautam, I want you to pay attention to Entity Gaming. I'm not making fun of you guys. You know I love you. Look at Amit Rasu. Look at Amit Rasu. Look at the kind of positivity that guy's face has. Falcon, Sai, Marzel. But then you look at Hellranger. You look at Hellranger and you see that guy means some really darn nasty business with you. You don't want to be around this guy. Like, oh, he's like Count Olaf of Indian CSGO.
The thing is, at the end of the day, I would like to add, like, I've spent a lot of time with both these teams individually. So I've spent a lot of time with the Entity players when they were in different teams altogether.
Indeed.
However, Entity has not been having a great time so far. They've lost their last 2 games that they played against. One was Portal and the other one was
Intensity Pune 5. They lost first to Intensity Pune 5, which was an amazing game. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll tell you why you haven't seen it. Gautam, I'll get back to the game a second later. I'll tell you why you missed out such amazing games. Because you are our esteemed viewers. We love you guys. Esports in India or any other country, screw that. Esports in the world would not be esports if you guys wouldn't be watching these games and us. But then again, you need to know about this, right? You need to know when esports is happening. And for that reason alone, you have a bell icon there on the YouTube stream you're watching, which you need to press so that each time we go live, you get notified and you know when some great matches are happening. And that ways, you know exactly the game I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Intensity Pune 5 versus Entity Gaming game where, oh my God, Adi literally messaged in our group later saying that I have zero idea. I'm happy I'm not analyzing this game because I'm pretty sure Entity people would have felt really very bad. Not that Intensity was all in the clear. They just played so much more better. And then this again got repeated when Entity was facing Portal Esports, our neighbors from across the border, Pakistan.
I'll tell you what happened there was after the loss from Intensity. I think these guys kind of they must have had some kind of internal problem there. They must be thinking that some confidence loss or something. So followed up with that, they lost to PES, Portal Esports. And this team is not something to kind of, you can't take it easy against Pakistan's best team. I think they were just, after the Intensity Pune 5 loss, they kind of walked into this game with lesser confidence. And I'm hoping that today they will bring it back together because they are not facing an easy team. They're pretty much facing the best team right now.
Yeah, they're facing the top tier of the top tier.
No, because they're facing the #1 team right now in the standings as it is, basically. So even though Brutality has lost 1 game to SRA, they're still one of the least amount of losses.
Top teams, yeah. But again, it's got nothing to do with losing against. I need to address this issue also. A lot of this was brought to my notice, and it's my duty as a guy who represents this esteemed tournament to you guys. I understand the love. I understand the appreciation. I understand and absolutely stand by you when it comes to your national pride. But you cannot take a dump on your own players or on the opposition players for what? Come on, when it's an India-Pakistan match, cricket match, if it's a test match, I'm not being anti-national anyway when I support Pakistan because if you go by the ICC standings, the Pakistani test team, you pray to gods that you don't meet them in a pitch in England. Those are like flat pitches. But the idea is you can't take a dump on both the teams.
The teams are ready, the players are ready.
Yeah, but I just wanted to address this issue because I'm also emotional
and
about
everyone's
these
waiting
players.
for some good Clash Royale. Sorry, Counter-Strike.
All right. So now that I have let my emotions take over me and now I have put them back inside where they belong.
Come back.
Let's have a look at map pick V2, which has gone to Inferno. Great pick for both the teams because as you can see, Mirage, Nuke and Dust 2, which has now toppled over Cobblestone, are these most hated map. And the Indian national map, Dust 2, is known as popularly in slang there. So Entity is banned out, Nuke, Dust 2, Mirage, Overpass, Train, Cash got banned by Brutality. Leaves us with Inferno. Let me remind you, each and every single time any CSGO game has gone to Inferno, it's because of sheer fact that the teams who know they can pull off a good strategy and good communication-based game, they will always take it to. They will always end up taking the map to a map like an Inferno, because, like I always mentioned, there are key points there which you need to literally control, so that any onslaught which comes to you, gets reduced, or the impact of it gets reduced. So by the time you have enough time for a good rotation, if you want to like, okay, fine, fine, fine. You know what? I'll let the talking be done by the video we have for the map Inferno.
Inferno. This map is not like any other traditional CSGO map. It does not revolve heavily around mid-control. The two most important areas of control are the apartments and banana. You lose control of either one of these areas and you're going to have a bad time.
That was a great voice of Vagish Bhan here, our planet Earth.
Sasta David Attenborough, you mean?
Yeah.
I take that as a compliment. And then we see
Let's
great
go to the
old
game.
entity gaming players go in and pounce on them. All right, no. I'm just kidding. Adi and Archishman Fet Pradhan waiting to cast this game. The players are ready, revved up. Everything is in place. So what's lacking? The game. So let's take you there.
And it is time for Brutality to take on Entity. The map is going to be Inferno, and I'm Adi, and joining me is Fet for what is a massive, massive game in the ESL India Premiership. This is definitely the game that I've been looking most forward to as well, because I have a vested interest in here as well. Brutality was my ex-team, but joining me is Fet. How are you doing, bud?
I am absolutely splendid and rearing to go, and this is the weirdest setup I've seen. There's no one B on the pistol round, and Mazel pushing up apartments. He gets the trade A-star. It's a 4v4, and well, all four seem to be on full health. Hellranger now finally rotating back to the B bomb site, but it's a curious way that this match has been set up. Both Entity and Brutality coming off losses, oh, Amaterasu, he's on fire. Plucks Juventa's head clean off his shoulders. And now it's a 3v4. Foxy still haven't gotten much map in the way of map control here. Brutality, Entity Gaming seem to be dictating the pace of this round. Venom is just chilling towards Brown Hall stairs, and Entity seem to have a good start to their pistol round.
Yep, definitely a counter strat coming out there by Entity. They're completely expecting the A play, an early A play, but instead it's a slower play. Mars is going to get one more frag. He's going to get a third for the round on Venom, and suddenly it's all over for Brutality, and they in fact didn't get any footing in this round whatsoever. They just died one by one, even though Rix had gotten them the opening frag onto A-star.
Rix, I think, got the opening frag onto Sai.
Yeah, onto Sai, sorry. Yeah. My bad. Little bit of A-Star used to play for Entity Gaming, didn't he, back then?
Yes.
So, yeah, my bad there. Slight brain fart. But anyway now, Brutality is going to force buy because why not? Because they didn't get the bomb down. And I like this by Entity, the aggression coming up, showing them that, those losses, they're just a part of the past now, and we aren't scared, and we're going to take some map control off you, and we're going to push you back. But Brutality has expected it, and they have been playing slightly more passive. But A-Star trying to sneak in to the boiler position, but Marzel is ready for that as well. Juventa with a 1-deke onto Falcon, but he's instantly traded by Amaterasu, and Venom is not going to be able to sneak his way into a frag.
Wow, finally a very decisive anti-force coming out from Entity. They've struggled with the anti-force buys, losing both them in their previous game against Portal Esports, and struggling against, I think it was Intensity Pune 5, the game before on Inferno. Finally, it's good to see Entity Gaming actually dig in, make some changes where it was extremely necessary. Like, we both have heard that that's a team going through some internal issues. They're a team that takes some time to get back into gear. They've all had a time off because of exams and stuff, but Brutality need to bring their A game, because clearly Entity have come prepared for the brutal show.
Yep, and if ever there was a chance for Entity Gaming to A-Star there. Right? Oh, I seem to have lost connection to GoTV, by the way. I am going to reconnect. While for that time, Pet, please take over.
Yeah, sure. Sai, in the meantime, he's just peppering a couple of bullets here and there through the smoke. Does land a shot onto A-Star, but A-Star's not going to be bothered. There's an M4 there lying for the wake, and whoa, Sai is just going to go ham. He's done quite a bit of damage. Venom down to 41 HP. It's a 4v5. Brutality can actually turn this around, but Entity needn't be worried either. They have the weapons advantage. They can just play for the range. That smoke, Falcon could have used it, but he spots out 2 players, should just be backing off. Doesn't want to get overwhelmed by the pistols. And there we go. Gets 1, gets 2, somehow manages to get the 3rd. And there's Hellranger with the support. Decapitates Rix. Yeah, I just got disconnected from TeamSpeak as well. Nice, good going internet, good going. But regardless, that was another clean round. A little bit of a bother to start with Amaterasu falling a bit too cheaply to A-Star. However, all things considered, still a decent round. Losing 2 players, they've got some money in the bank. And now it's going to be the buy round coming out for Brutality. They've got some utility. They've got AK-47s and armor across the board. And Sai, he's got his favorite weapon of mass destruction out, the AWP, his Zoom Banger, his AWP Mortis. You know why? Because it spells doom and gloom for whoever is unfortunate enough to walk into its crosshairs. Anyway, that initial aggression not really finding anybody. Brutality making micro adjustments to account for the early aggression that Entity bring to the table. And they're not going to present themselves to any angles whatsoever. They're going to be falling back. Falcon, in the meantime, playing the only aggro position towards the A bomb site. It's a 2-man play towards A and a 3-man stack towards B. But the bomb is still towards mid. So the rotation call should be being made very fast. There we see Entity going for some mid-round banana control. Good aggression again, denying the T's any map control whatsoever. Rix already down to 46 HP, and Falcon on the flip side down to 63, but doesn't matter. Venom's just gonna come careening around the corner and just eviscerates Mazel. Mazel is down for the count. Now it's all down to Amaterasu towards the B-bomb site. And Hellranger, realizing that there's a huge chink in the armor towards the B-bomb site, is rotating double time. The smokes come raining in. It's not the best of smokes. And, well...
Venom is taken down.
Yeah.
So, I am back, by the way.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. And Foxy does get traded off elsewhere. A-Star has sneaked his way into Cubby, but Hellranger somehow gets the frag. But the bomb has been planted. Rix and Juventa now in a 2v3 situation. Entity is definitely going to go for this retake. But they have only 1 flashbang to do it. Rix trying to get a first frag, but Juventa swings out wide and takes outside. Juventa, you madman. Who does that? The Hellranger does know where Juventa is. Rix has been taken down as well. Hellranger, Juventa! Somehow Hellranger whiffing the spray, and Juventa gets two kills from an impossible position and puts Brutality on the map. Their first round, it's 3-1 now in the favor of Entity Gaming. But the all-important gun round has gone in the favor of Brutality, and you can see the money on Sai and Falcon. It's pretty wrecked, but fortunately for him, a couple of their teammates did have enough money to drop at least 1 M4 over. And yeah, before I got so rudely disconnected from the server, what I was saying that Entity Gaming, because of the way this veto has gone, they actually have a chance now to get back to winning ways because they're really comfortable on Inferno, and so is Brutality. Oh my god, nobody's checked Amaterasu. He was completely white, and somehow Brutality has survived that.
Oh, what? Falcon fade away headshot. And Amaterasu is going to get clobbered from behind by A-Star. That's the A defense just capitulating under the sheer weight of numbers. Brutality have A bomb site control. And now Entity Gaming should just oh my god, the AWP gets taken out. That is bad. Alright, Hellranger manages to save it. Mazel recovers the M4. Those are the 2 rifles being taken into this round. 1 going the way of Brutality, but at least 2 rifles being held on to, one of them being the oh so important AWP. But again, that A setup, the 2-man A setup, I think Brutality is read into this, that they're going heavy B early round. And they just completely and utterly exploited that setup to their advantage, just overwhelming that A defense and barging and brute forcing their way in, just saying, sorry mates, time's up. Here's your eviction notice, GTFO.
Yep, and that was a great change of pace coming in by Brutality. Right off the bat of, Entity force buying, they kind of would have figured that Entity is going to force buy and they're going to try something because their money is going to be in shambles for the next round. So they switch up the pace and they play really fast. That was a great call coming in by Juventa or A-Star or whoever is IGLing now for Brutality, because even though I'm so close to them, I still have no idea who does the real in-game leading. And now Entity Gaming, they have to eco. They're not going to force buy around those around that op and the M4. And I don't like this, by the way. Marzel's gone solo B and Hellranger's gone A with the op. They should have at least kept those two together and tried to lock down one bomb site. And Brutality, they're making the correct call right now. They are going for the correct bomb site. Only Marzel there. Yes, it's an M4, but it is just one defender. And it's a contact play coming in by Brutality right now. Marzel had the smoke out, but luckily he survives it. He's A-Star trying to chase him down, but gets away with his life there. And Brutality have the B bomb side with no resistance.
Oh, okay. Rix gets overrun there. Falcon USPing him to the face. And Marzel trying to get some more damage done from construction side. Amaterasu gets a lot of damage into A-Star, but A-Star somehow manages to find the kill regardless. And now Marzel, he's making his presence known. He's trying to make as much noise as possible to draw the attention of the defenders towards construction. That's a really nice boost coming out. Hellranger gets the kill. Marzel, that prompts him to move in. Marzel trying to make something happen. Venom's position is being marked like a hawk by Hellranger, but Venom's just going to get overrun. Is there a kit? There is no kit. I don't think there's enough time. I don't think there's enough time, and Venom just single-handedly mops everybody on that B bomb site. What a god tier play coming out from him, hiding in the dark spot. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, and he just knocks all the pins off the bowling alley. What a beautiful hold from Venom.
Weirdly enough, actually, this has forced Entity now to commit, right? Like that defense by Brutality, it capitulated and Venom had to bail them out. And considering that Venom won that 1v4, the Entity just invested their saved M4 and op into that round, because if the first kill went towards Brutality, or maybe even the second kill went towards Brutality, and if it was down to maybe a 3v3 retake, I'm 100% sure that Entity would have actually saved that op and the rifle. And instead, they try to push in, and now they have to they have to basically spend everything they have. And even though they do have an op, they have no head armor on anyone, and they don't have Molotovs on anyone either. It's like a really low utility setup on the defense, and somehow that round working out for Brutality.
I mean, I'm not so worried about the fact that there's no head armor because they're going up against an op and 4 AKs, but what does worry me is the lack of utility. And you're right, they've more or less gone for broke this round. Entity Gaming, they really need to win this. But again, they started off on fire, but they seem to have cooled off quite a lot. Amaterasu playing that cheeky barrel position, not oftenly checked, but he is prone to every flash under the sun that gets thrown over the sky, like over the roof into the A-bomb site. And look at A-Star, he's aware. He's getting boosted on the flower bed. He's going to spot out Amaterasu. Amaterasu still looking God knows where, but somehow Amaterasu does get the kill and, oh, does a lot of damage. Marzel, what? How?
Trying to push through a smoke there, and Marzel was absolutely punished for that. Sai getting caught off guard by Venom as well. Suddenly, it's down to a 4v2. Falcon's still alive in the bomb site right now. The C4 is down, but he is instantly traded by Juventa. And now Hellranger is just trying to get out of here. He wants to save that M4. And, well, now all of a sudden, okay, he's going to pick up the op. And, oh, the bomb plant. I just noticed the timer there. It just comes in the nick of time for Brutality. And Hellranger is going to hightail it out of there with the AWP and live to fight another day. Brutality, actually. A-Star, I have no idea how he didn't check out that check for that position by Amaterasu. And I'll tell you why. I was sitting in Brutality's TeamSpeak at 6:30 p.m. and they were discussing exactly this. They were discussing Amaterasu's position at the barrel and the fact that he likes playing that position. And A-Star was the one who said it, and he's the one who doesn't check it. It's an oversight coming in by, it's a weird oversight, right? It's irony at its best right now. Hellranger though does get a frag onto Juventa, and he is gonna keep the op alive, just barely manages to keep the op alive. And Entity now have to eco another round, and Brutality, shaky start, shaky pistol round, but since the gun round, they've looked absolutely assertive.
Yeah, like I said, Brutality started off a bit cold, but they're turning up the heat. Can Entity Gaming withstand it is the question, because so far they've looked far from decisive, especially since the guns have come out to play for Brutality. I think they've won 4 rounds in a row. Yep, they've won all 4 buy rounds for them. And Entity, they don't seem to have an answer for the change of pace that Brutality keep throwing each and every round. No 2 rounds till now from Brutality have been identical. They've switched things up, they've done things slightly differently, and they've managed to overwhelm every bomb site. They've gone to Hellranger, needs to be careful, and Hellranger's been deleted from the server. Venom's just like, nah fam, not today. You're not getting this op either. Look at that, him playing the master juggling artist. Oh, disdainfully tosses it out of the map as well. Mazel now coming around the corner. He's be like, Arey, op kahan gaya bhai?
Yep. Really, really good by Venom there. Just making sure that Entity Gaming cannot save the op for one more time. In the other side, Foxy, well, Venom right now does get the frag onto Marcel. Marcel looking away at the worst possible moment. That's just terrible timing there. Now Falcon, he's stuck between multiple terrorists, and he's gonna get shot in the side of the head as well. Well, side of the body anyway. And it's a great clean round coming out of Brutality, and that's something they have required, by the way, because other than round number 5, a lot of the rounds have gone down to a 1v1 or a 1v2, or just 2 players alive on Brutality. So that clean round is definitely going to bolster their economy. And now Entity Gaming, they've taken a timeout. They're going to probably reel in their coach as well. Maybe ask him, what should we do? How should we change in the setup? And of course, I'm pretty sure they're going to go for a double up. Falcon can still buy one and maybe give one over to Marzel as well. Because they need to get some aggressive peaks in there. Because Inferno is a map where you need control of at least Banana or Apartments, one of the two. If you don't have control of both, and if you're just sitting passively and you're letting the terrorist side, dictate the pace of play, it's not going to work out for you. Like, it's not going to work out very well for you anyway. Anyway, now Entity does not go for the double op setup. It is only Sai on the op. Marzel. They do go for some aggression, but it's the half-wall aggression, sort of the VP-esque aggression, and the double nades coming in as well. But Brutality knows this. They haven't even committed, and I think they're going to go for late banana control. It's straight mind games here. It's just counter-stratting each other at every single turn.
Yeah, I mean, these teams know each other so well. Like, they literally know how they play, the other plays, like, inside and out. And Brutality so far, remember we were talking about this back, like, a couple of weeks back, that it seems that A-Star has always been, Entity's Achilles heel. Like, this current lineup's Achilles heel. Like, he just knows. He has this sixth sense inkling. And wow, Sai managing to get that opening pick onto the player peeking Boiler. Sai falls back, a more passive position in towards Pit. The A hit is in. At least it looks like it's going to be an A hit with 40 seconds left on the clock. They have enough time to rotate, swing towards Banana. But Mazel is there ready and primed on top of half wall. Rix with the AWP. He's trying to work a pick, but Mazel, he's not going to offer anything up. He's going to go back, and Hellranger in the meantime is going to hold the fort, swings out wide, gets 2 kills, easy peasy. In the meantime, Rix has fouled Mazel, but Rix now has the very difficult decision to either save or go for it. I think he should be saving given the money situation. Rix has enough money in the bank, but why throw away an AWP? That's a hefty investment. AWP, armor, and a flashbang. That's around $7,000 worth of investments that he's carrying. So, should just... Yeah.
And a pedophilia as well.
Yeah, and the pedophilia. Pedaiso.
No, we're not going to call it the pedaiso. It's a pedophilia. But anyway, Entity Gaming finally goes for banana control. And they win the round off the back of that. I'm a little disappointed that Brutality did not challenge Banana before, they had enough time, right? Around the 1 minute time, 1 minute counter, they could have contested Banana, and that would have meant that Entity could not stack 4 players over to the A-bomb side. But instead, Brutality goes for the, for just a 4-man push towards the A-bomb side, which didn't really work out for them. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see we're going to see Brutality adjust to that again anyways. And there you go. Brutality has gone for aggressive banana control this time.
Okay then, Sai deleted already. I mean, Sai is having a tough time. I think all that time he spends in matchmaking is coming back to haunt him. But in the meantime, Mazel gets a trade elsewhere on the map, falls back. It's still a 4v4. Even Stevens, the advantage will still be with the terrorists because they always have the option of bunching up and hitting a bomb site. It's going to come down to the trade games from this point on. Whoever comes out on top with their trading is going to be winning the round. That and or hero plays from either Amaterasu, Falcon, Hellranger or Marzel. In the meantime, Foxy, well, one danger man deleted. That's the man advantage again in the favor of Brutality. And they're going to regroup and go towards the B bomb site. I'm really liking these adjustments that Brutality are making. Entity seem to be stuck with their heads in the sand because they've been playing so static. I've not seen any of the telltale Hellranger calls, you know, that come out, the god tier calls that we've been praising him for over the past year. Not you, Adi. You seem to have wised up to the fact that maybe India doesn't have good IGLs.
Now, I'm sure India has good IGLs. Marzel, though, getting traded out by Foxy. Brutality making the correct decision, by the way, to go for the B bomb site. But Hellranger's on the flank, and A-Star has missed him. A-Star has completely let him slip by. And Falcon, it doesn't look like they actually want to go for this retake. Juventa, though, is aware that, well, that's a great call coming in by A-Star, that he could have slipped by. And he's heard out Falcon as well at this point. And Falcon can do nothing but save because at least Entity in round number 9 had 4 players alive. So they might just be able to eke out a little bit of a buy around this saved M4. But only if this M4 is saved. And A-Star is already on the hunt. Falcon, ooh, he doesn't spot him there. Maybe it's a 4v3 resolution, but now he definitely does spot him. He will take down A-Star as well. And now he's going to try to save the op, and he will be able to do it because both the terrorists are really far away. And yeah, I mean, off the back of that, I'm pretty sure Entity Gaming is going to go in for the force buy because they've lost a lot of rounds already. 6 rounds on Brutality on the T side of Inferno. It's nothing to scoff at. I do, of course, recognize that Inferno is more of an even Stevens map now, and it is more economy-centric, right? But yeah. But still, 6 rounds is great, and if Brutality continue on this way, they're going to probably have at least 9 rounds. Yeah, which will be amazing.
Because it is so economy-centric right now, Entity are in a world of hurt. They need to make some changes. They need to make some, some adjustments. And most importantly, Sai needs to wake up. He's got 2 kills in 10 rounds. That is just not done. And Marzel, what?
A peek without a flash. That is.
Unforgivable.
That is 101. Yeah, that is CS 101. And the coach should be making a note right now. He should just be like, a little note on his pad. He'll be like, Marzel, round number 11. What the hell?
Cut Marzel.
Well, no, I wouldn't cut one of their star players over that. But, I mean, I can understand he's young, right? But anyways, we'll get back to that later. Brutality now in a 5v4 situation. And Entity Gaming has gone for the 2-2 stack at the A and the B bomb sites. And at this point, Brutality could hit anything with the numbers. And as long as the trades favor them, it should work out. Sai, though, has Sai timed out?
No,
he is not.
It looks like he is because of the amount of impact he's been having in the game so far. But no, he's still very much there.
A pop flash though by Sai, and Juventa is gonna get is not gonna get flashed by that, and Hellranger gets steam flashed instead. And oh, unfortunately, Brutality could not capitalize on that, but instead Sai capitalizes on that. Amaterasu elsewhere has mopped the floor with A-Star and Rix, and all of a sudden it's down to a 2v4. Venom and Foxy, and make that just Venom alone. Sai finally waking up. Sai with a 3K just after the commentator Fett calls him out.
Thank you. I hope he heard that. I hope it tingled his ego a little bit and prompted him to wake up and deliver the goods, because we all know what this man is capable of, right? We've seen him go, we've seen him single-handedly carry Invisible Wings 2 years ago to the finals of the ESL India Premiership, where, granted, they lost to Risky. But again, Sai was the MVP of that game as well. So we know what this guy is capable of. And him not showing up for a map can really be devastating for whatever team he's playing for. And I hope this is the beginning of, an awakening, per se, for our Simmer Sai Sethi, our resident streamer and, ever-loved, widely beloved pro player from Entity. But so far, Brutality don't seem to want to let up. They've smelled blood and they're like, They're like sharks. They're not going to let up whatsoever.
Force buying into this round as well. They've spent every dime they've had. Venom, though, he wants to challenge Banana, but he's still wary of the fact that there's no player with him. And that's a misplay. Running with the with the knife out. Marcel's going to get an easy frag onto Venom, and he's going to smoke it off now. And he's actually going to get out of here as well with just 8 points of health. How unfortunate for Brutality that they could not trade that frag. But this also means that Entity Gaming, because of how low Marzel is, they're gonna have to play 2 players over the at the B bomb site. Sorry, and I do like this though. Marzel's been boosted up at a position that is generally checked, but sometimes it slips out of your mind. And Brutality though, it looks like they want to wrap into the B bomb site from CD spawn. Amaterasu though is aware of this, and he has called it out to his teammate. Marzel now sitting in another interesting position. Amaterasu trying to survive. Is Marzel going to be checked? The no is the question, but Marzel should have had a little bit of trigger discipline, but there is no time remaining. Hellranger gets an important kill, and the bomb plant is not going to come in. Foxy picked off as well, and now Rix, all he can do is save that gun. And if Brutality did that a little faster, by the way, that would have been a great round and a great call. But instead, they run out of time, and now Brutality call in for the timeout because, well, they need to eco this round.
I just don't understand why Marzel couldn't show a little bit more trigger discipline. I understand. Like, I get it from his point of view. He's on 8 HP. He wants to at least take one player out of the equation before he's eventually and inevitably traded out. So I think, yeah, hindsight is always 20/20, Adi. So I think Marzel made the best of whatever was the hand that was dealt to him. But finally, Entity Gaming, more importantly, they've tied up the score. It's 6-6. Brutality being forced into an eco. It's been an economy game so far. You were on point with your analysis when you said that, Inferno is an economy-centric map. It's a very balanced map when it comes to if you have control over your opponent's economy, you have control over the fate of their rounds. Given the fact that now Brutality are more or less on a half-ish desperate buy, Entity can actually capitalize and go into the lead once again, and Rix just bombarding and barreling his way through the fire and the flames, channeling his inner metalhead, and not taking that much damage either. He's just 81 HP.
Yep, and Brutality does go in for a semi-force by Rix, the raid boss, with the AK-47. But I really hope, they have a smoke and a couple of flashes, so I like that, and I really hope it works out for them because they'll have to eco the next round as well, to be honest. They could force into it, but it'll be a really low utility buy. The pop flash coming in, Sai completely blinded, but unfortunately he's not checked. Another flashbang as well, but Hellranger is locking down the bomb site right now. Sai will chime in as well, but Sai, he's going nuts now. Juventa does come in with a single trade, but Rix now, finally, that AK-47 should have been the first point of contact, but instead, it's the last gun alive on Brutality now. And the pop flash coming in, but it doesn't look like Entity Gaming want to give him a peek, but instead, I say that, and Baba still does peek, and fortunately for him, he doesn't get punished for that lack of discipline, I would say, because Rix was going nowhere. Even if he had the bomb plant, it's A-okay because there are barely any rounds left in this half. But either way, not punished, and now Entity Gaming is on a double op setup. And the thing is, if Brutality somehow managed to pick up this round, by the way, Entity is still going to be broke in the next round. That's how close these rounds have been.
Exactly, and that's why Brutality have been constantly pressuring their economy as well, because they know what's at stake. They know how poor Entity Gaming are. All they need to do is just win one round and they can actually end up winning the half 8-7. So this is the do or die round for both the teams if they want to come out on top of this half. If Entity win it, they have a very good chance of going 9-6 up on the first half. If Brutality win it, they're going to go 8-7. That's how finely balanced this game is at this point.
Yep. And Brutality now going back to what is their set default, so to speak. The apartments control. And, well, actually, they haven't taken banana control this round, so they definitely have some sort of strat in mind. But now, because they don't have any banana control, Marzel though getting a pop flash, Venom spotting that out. But Entity does have 4 players towards the A bomb side because Marzel hasn't really been challenged. He can hold that bomb site solo for now. Hellranger getting a frag onto A-Star, but he's instantly traded by Juventa. 4v4 always works out better for the terrorists. Always. Well, more often than not anyway.
Yeah, and now Marzel, he's the solo cannon towards the B bomb side, and he's playing from an angle that's almost always going to get smoked off. And I think right about now, Venta is lining up. Oh no, that's the coffin smoke. And of course, Venom does get legged. Marzel taking him out. Marzel still holding that angle. Man's got balls the size of Connecticut. He will not fall back. That's a very ballsy move, by the way, just to hold that angle still after getting that first peak. Because you never know when the pre-fire is going to come in. And with those AK-47s and the nutty aim that these guys have over on Brutality, you're more often than not going to find your head rolling on the floor. But Marzel, he does not blink. He holds steady. And he's playing chicken with his life. But he's going to come out on top regardless. Good brace for him. Entity move on to 8 rounds. And now Brutality, well, it's the final round. They have no choice. They're going to go in with a bunch of utility. I like that. An AK-47, 2 UMPs, and a couple of CZs. It's doable, Adi. We've seen these buys win time and time again over the course of this ESL India Premiership Masters series, especially against Entity.
Yep, I agree. The force buys generally seem to work out more often than not. But I do want to highlight, by the way, in the round previous to this, Brutality had 2 smokes on them, and they didn't smoke off CT. I have no idea why. And even if they had just 1 smoke on them, they should have smoked off CT and not the barrels. Sorry, not the coffins area, because, well, I do kind of understand as well that Sai's been playing that the entire time, but a solo defender generally does not play coffins that often. But Rix does get the first frag. It's a fast play coming in, but Rix getting another frag onto Juventa, but the trades are coming in for Brutality. Hellranger does manage to get only 1 before he is instantly traded out. And now Amaterasu and Marzel are in a 2v3 situation. Make that a 2v2 because A-Star not ready for him.
I like this, the use of the smoke. Amaterasu, I think he may have managed to sneak past Venom. Making a lot of noise. That should tell Foxy where Amaterasu is. And both the Entity players just getting eviscerated. And like I said, I called it, just call me Nostradamus already. These kind of buys have an unusually high tendency of working against Entity Gaming. And it happens yet again.
But I really like that switch of play, by the way, by Brutality. They had almost never gone to the shelter position, to the short or the mid to right, whatever you want to call it, position. And this is the first time, almost the first time they used it, and it completely caught Entity off guard. 8-7 though, in the favor of Entity Gaming, who really, really need to get back to winning ways after being on the receiving end of 2 beatdowns, honestly. Well, 1 beatdown and 1 unexpected loss. So Entity Gaming at least have that going for them at this point. But the aggression coming in by Brutality, I like that. But when he does get a frag, can he get away? He does get away as well. That's brilliantly done. Foxy now is going to get another frag onto Marzel as well. He's way too eager for that trade. And the pop flash coming in completely blinds Hellranger, but he does get into safety as well. Things are going well for Brutality right now. 5v3 situation, and now Hellranger does get a frag, but Foxy is just going to town right now. He gets 1, Venom gets another for himself, and A-Star burns Hellranger alive. Fresh kebab over at the B-bomb site. And yes, I did steal that from Blair.
Well, let's just say you were inspired because, mimicry is the biggest form of flattery, as they say. Let's just say you were inspired by Blair. But what was absolutely uninspirational was that pistol from Entity. Why? I mean, you've got 1 minute, 55 seconds on the clock with, say, leaving 4 seconds to plant the bomb about. Play the time, get some map control. Why bum rushing B like that when you know that the opponents have studied what your tendencies are? You would have noticed that immediate swing the moment they were spotted in Banana. Brutality did not hesitate for a second. They just swung straight towards the B bomb site and they just wrecked.
Sorry to do this thing. I want to highlight, by the way before this timeout even happened, Marzel already force bought, by the way. Entity could have maybe were thinking of going for the eco, but after the fact that Marzel bought so early, I think that's why that they've been forced into force buying into this round, because they don't really, I mean, the lead, there is no lead for Brutality, right? They could have actually let it go to a 10-8 situation and then bring out the big guns, right? Bring up all the utility. But instead, they do go for the force buy, and Marzel, he's just not letting go of the W key. He's already 1 minute 30 seconds on the clock, and he's already at Boiler. And well, I like this by Brutality as well. They're playing really passively, and it against the Pistols, you kind of want to do that because there are a lot of choke points in this map, and you want to play the longest range possible. And they are doing that right now with a couple of players in Pit, a couple of a player all the way back at Modo, that's Rix, and even at Banana, they're all the way back. And yes, they don't have information, but still.
I mean, right now it doesn't matter, right? Because just as I say that, Amaterasu gets the opening pick, and they're going to wrap towards the B bomb side. Venom, they may not have any information. This is the problem, right? When you play the Turtle setup, yes, you're allowing the range of the rifles to do the work for you, but you don't have any information. But Venom, he spots out the bomb. He's going to get overrun very soon. Marzel gets the kill, retrieves the M4 as well. And Hellranger, well, he just got Goombard. A-Star jumps over him, flying arch, rainbows over his head, and shoots him in the face for good measure. Good night, Hellranger. Amaterasu, he's got the angle, he's got the HP, he's got the armor. Can he be the difference maker? And he's going to get A-Star. The Danger Man has fallen. Rix dangerously low. Amaterasu is going to find him as well. Now it's all down to Rix. In a 1v2, Amaterasu caught napping. But I don't think they know where Marzel is. And Rix, he's going to go for the defuse, and Marzel. Whelp. Adi Whelp. Another anti-force lost.
All right. I have something to point out, by the way. Juventa, when he went down, he had 1 grenade, 2 flashbangs, and a smoke on him, on his person. None of them were used. A-Star just ran straight into the bomb site instead of, demanding a flashbang by Juventa. And it's the same case. And also, Rix with another misplay towards the end there. Yes, he was in a 1v2. It's generally not winnable. But Marzel was really low. Venom would have also said that he was in the bomb site, because Juventa had come in from the banana position. I have no idea why Rix was looking at banana. And Brutality now, they're going to have to force by A-Star and Rix on a scout each, and a couple of pistols and armor on the rest of them. And all of a sudden, Entity Gaming are in control of the economy.
They're right where they want to be, and this is the round that Entity Gaming should be looking to make their mark, stamp their authority on this game, and then hopefully put a couple of rounds between them and Brutality, because God only knows what's going to happen once Brutality have the guns out. And look at that gamble coming out from Brutality. They've stacked 4 players over towards the B bomb site, and Rix, oh, what a shot from Amaterasu. It's going to do a lot of damage onto A-Star as well. Takes a bit in return, and now Juventa all alone towards the A bomb site. Will he get baited into pushing the smoke? Falcon needs to be careful. Juventa is hearing this intently, but Falcon hushes up at the perfect moment, and he's going to seek past Juventa. Unlucky there, but he's going to hear a stampede headed his way. And I think Hellranger spotted Juventa, but does not matter. Juventa is not a player to be trifled with, but Amaterasu from behind, the Deathmaker. And he's going to get the kill. And also importantly with that Mac 10, $600 extra in the bank for them. And Venom is going to save that armor, and CZ A-Star is going to save that scout. Very important to carry this investment forward into the next round, because next round, they're going to have nothing. That kit onto A-Star and that armor and CZ on Venom could be the thing that makes the difference, because as I've pointed out once before, these weird-ass buys have an uncanny tendency. Okay, I take that back. They're all dead. Forget I said anything.
I was just about to say that, though, that Sai had already heard them in the B-bomb site, and he was calling for backup, and he had discipline not to go in for the hunt alone, and he waited for Falcon to come in with that other Mac 10, and then they wiped out the remaining Brutality players who were trying to save those weapons. But anyway, now Brutality have to fully eco into this, and considering that they force bought into the previous round, they're not going to have everything they want in, all the grenades, head armor, things like that. And this round is, of course, it's a gimme round basically. And that nade, finally a Counter-Strike Go grenade doing some damage.
Yeah, thank God. But then again, a nade went off on A-Star's foot. And he's still alive with more than half HP. Valve, please fix, please.
Well, but Entity Gaming will be happy with that because instead the the kill has gone to the Mac-10. The second kill of the round going to the Mac-10 as well. And now Hellranger, he wants to just rush into the B bomb site, but nope, he's thought better of it. Sai, though, in the meanwhile, does get another one onto Juventa. And all these kills going to the Mac-10, and I'm pretty sure Hellranger is going to get another one right there, but he pulls out the grenade at the worst possible moment, but does get the frag onto Foxy. Amaterasu as well, great cover. Gets Venom trying to sneak out of that smoke there and backstab Hellranger. So all in all, a clean round coming in for NTT Gaming, and that is great for them because now they can start building up some bank and they can buy into the next round even if they lose this one. And there you go, Brutality. They do not have head armor on 3 of their players, and Venom, for some reason, has head armor, but no smoke grenade.
Yeah, that's the trouble you run when you force buy into your second round, right? This is the risk of doing that. Is you're not going to have all the utility to play with in going into your first buy round.
I just want to point out where Venom is playing, and he bought the head armor to play that position. Your head is not even spottable here. And
little things.
yeah, but either way, Brutality is turtled up, like you like to call it, and they're playing very defensively, which I don't really like. But anyway, NTT Gaming, they're going to go in for the full execute. I was talking to Brutality about this earlier. You give them map control, they're going to do a full execute.
Yeah, and maybe this is what Brutality themselves are counting on, that they, get sucked into giving that full execute and they're going to wrap around. He's going to get spotted, but Falcon, what a shot. Foxy, he's going to be the next line of defense. He's going to find Hellranger, just the Mac-10, no problem, but he's going to find Mazel. Sorry, he's going to find Falcon as well. Finally, Sai taking him out. It's a 2v3, but Amaterasu and Sai thin out the herd, even out the numbers, but Sai, he's got the bomb. He needs to be careful. He's got the A. Oh my God. Now it's coming down all onto Amaterasu. Can he get this bomb down? 30 seconds left on the clock. He has to retrieve it, go back to the A or B bomb site and get the plant down. He's making a lot of noise. They're going to hear it. He's not got time. Time is not his friend. And look at where A-Star has managed to rotate towards. I don't think Amaterasu is going to be expecting that. No, he's not. A-Star takes his time, but somehow manages to get the kill. And like I said, right, Entity loses these kinds of rounds all too often when they have the weapons advantage, when they have the utility advantage. They just go in throwing it almost, it feels like, every now and then.
Yep, and of course, I mean, a little bit of a hero play coming in there by Foxy, making sure that CD spawn area wasn't completely lost and definitely giving time for Juventa to get back in there and lock Amaterasu into that bomb site finally. But NTT Gaming, like I said, they can buy and they have bought. And again, I don't like this by Brutality. It worked out in the previous round, in round number 20, but round number 21, they have no map control again. And it's just, I hope it works out for them, but this is not the way I like to play Inferno.
I mean, the thing is, I think they would have seen the Intensity Pune 5 demo and studied it intently as to what Entity like to do on Inferno. And they just, I think they saw that, the turtle setups work because Entity had a really difficult time cracking Intensity Pune 5's turtle setups, either towards the A or the B bomb site. And I think it boils down to a little bit in a lack of communication when they're actually finally hitting the bomb sites post-executes, because I've seen them do this time and time again, that multiple players will walk into the bomb site marking the same damn angle, and they kind of pay for it over and over again because of their callousness. And there we go, the B execute comes in. Venom not expecting the peak to come before the smoke blooms, but Foxy, he's burning alive, doesn't matter. Amaterasu somehow manages to get the kill on 13 HP. But now Venom from behind the smoke. The CTs are smoked out. It's a 4v4 retake towards the B bomb site, but A-Star, he's got no chill whatsoever. He's gonna come peeking in, but does get traded out. Now it's a 3v3. What the hell? Sorry, 2v3. What the hell is even happening? It's just a cluster of a retake attempt early on. Half in, half out, just the tip, I don't know. But these are decent post plants for that particular bomb plant.
a team kill coming out by the least expected player. I mean, you would never expect Amaterasu to do that. But in the heat of the moment, shoots Falcon's head clean off his shoulders. And now it's 3v2 retake, but Sai does get the op shot onto Juventa. And now they know that both the players are on the CD side, but Sai is going to town. And Rix, he has to back away. He has no time left anymore. And will he be able to survive? Just barely on 6 points of health, he manages to survive, and he's trying to get not working out. I mean, Amaterasu there, right? Trying to help out Brutality as much as he could, but instead, still the retake for the 4v4 retake did not work out for them. And now Brutality, they have to, well, they're going to force buy around that AK.
Yeah, and again, Sai coming up with the goods, finally finding some kills and frags. I hope that gives him confidence because he's up now. He was sitting at 2 frags with in the 10th round, and he's up to 14. Finally, someone woke him up, and he has come to play. And right now, I think there's a bit of lag coming in, so we're gonna wait for, we're going to go in for a little bit of technical pause. Things like this happen, guys. It's Counter-Strike, it's online, it's internet, and it's India. You can never be assured of good internet here unless you're in... Adi, where are you from again? Bridge Candy? South Bombay? Adi may have timed out, or I have timed out. I have no clue. Am I even here? These are philosophical questions that beg to be answered, but I've lost Adi in my ear, so I'm just gonna keep rambling. Best of luck. Yep, Adi has indeed timed out. So, alrighty, you have me for the duration of this timeout. Let's just break down this round, or like these rounds so far. Well, Adi seems to be back. Hi, Adi, welcome back.
Hi, I am back, but I am not in the server at the moment. It seems like the issues plaguing the server have plagued me as well. But
well,
where were we?
I was basically praising the Breach Candy internet the instant you timed out. So again, irony, dying a slow, painful death right there.
Well, I do have 3 internet connections, so don't bother. I'm back already. And this is something I've had to do and that's all the Brutality players, all the Entity players, everyone, by the way. We all have multiple connections just because of how crappy the stability of Indian internet is. But yeah, I mean, anyways, the server issue is still going on, right? So I want to go back all the way right to the start of this game, right? Right to the veto. This is, like I said earlier, right? This is Entity Gaming's best chance because it's Inferno and they're really comfortable on Inferno. And Brutality is no slouch, by the way. They made really quick work of AT Gaming on Inferno as well. But, and of course, really quick work of Vackband on Inferno as well. But still, I don't think it's their strongest map. And the way the veto went, right? I would have actually loved to see Brutality play Cash at the end because I know the Brutality doesn't play Cash that much as well, but you would have pushed Entity right into that corner because Entity Gaming's permaban has generally been Cash before the fact that they've completely lost their confidence in Mirage, which is thank God that they finally have.
Oh God, if I saw another Mirage coming out from Entity, I'd stab myself in the eye. Or rather, I would have asked you to stab myself in the eye. Stab me in the eye. What the hell is wrong with my English? England hard, I'm sorry. But, dude, that Mirage from Entity in the previous game, and bear in mind, against opponents with over 150 ping, was atrocious, to put it kindly. Atrocious. And you see, I've been talking to a lot of Indian players over the past year that I've been casting, and I hear this excuse a lot coming out from them that the reason we don't play well in SEA tournaments is because they're on 10 ping, we're on 50, and they have the advantage. And here's a team that comes in with 150 ping and literally wipes the floor with you after taking a dump on your floor. Okay. That's how dominant that performance was. So I think Indian professionals now need to take that ping advantage argument, fist it up into a very tight ball and shove it up where the sun don't shine. Because There's no excuse remaining. Team, and Nasser has been doing that since time immemorial, risky, erstwhile. They used to come online, 200 ping, didn't matter, would just come wreck everybody on the server. Granted, Risky was at a much higher skill level than what the Indian teams were used to playing at that time, but we have improved, don't get me wrong. And I can confidently say that while Portal might be slightly better, but that skill gap should be more than compensated for with that difference in ping. Teams should not be losing against players with 150 ping when you're at 9 and 30.
Yep, I completely agree. And of course, that sort of will play on their mind as well, right? That, we got defeated by a team who was on 150 ping, right? And it does look like the game is ready to go, by the way. And I like the courtesy, by the way, coming in by the captains. They're asking if the casters are ready. Yes, we are ready. We've been rambling about you this entire time, Hellranger.
Rather roasting, but yeah, let's go with rambling.
But I mean, yeah, that kind of shatters your confidence. So for now, for them to win against Brutality will be the biggest confidence boost they need and they could get, because Brutality has looked amazing this tournament, other than the minor hiccup against SRA. But yeah, that was on Dust 2, and it's Dust 2. If your shots don't hit, you can lose, and it's not something about it's not something that can break your confidence, so to speak. But Brutality now, like I said, they have force spot. Well, no, they haven't force spot this time after the restore has been called in. The AK has been saved, and A-Star has invested all of his money, but Juventa and Foxy and Venom have not. So a little bit curious there, but hopefully, and finally, by the way, Rix and A-Star playing a little aggressive at the apartments. Rix, a little too aggressive. Sai is ready for that, and Entity Gaming, they kind of knew that was going to happen because Brutality were on the eco, right? Or they would have at least assumed an eco or a force buy, and they knew that some sort of aggression can happen. So that's a really good read coming in by Entity.
They had to go for that aggro play, Brutality. They have to make this AK work, and yeah, like you said, Entity were ready for it. They accounted for it. They've got the man advantage. Now they just need to be methodical. A-Star, on the other hand, could be the ace in the hole or the ace up the sleeve for Brutality, but he's gonna give up his advanced position and they're gonna buy this B fake hook, line, and sinker. Mazel gets Venom. That's gonna keep more. Okay, finally, A-Star realizing that it's not gonna be a B hit, but it's a fake. They successfully drew that AK out, but A-Star manages to get Falcon. It's a 3v3. A-Star with the AK-47. He's dead. Sai gets the kill with the AWP, and now Hellranger can just line them up as they walk past him. Eco frags for days. Hellranger's not gonna mind that at all. Match IR for him and a round for his team, Entity Gaming. 13-9 is the score, and Brutality, they still can't buy, Adi. They're still, if they go for a force right now, it's gonna be a very paltry buy coming in from them. A-Star cannot buy an armor ump maybe, but they need to eco this. They need to bite the bullet. They need to swallow that bitter pill, and they need to eco this. Otherwise, they may as well just throw the game.
Yep, I agree. The full eco needs to come in, and A-Star actually, even if Brutality does go for full eco right now, by the way, A-Star is on $1,700. He's gonna get another $2,400. That's not enough. That's not enough for a full buy, and you kind of want to make your last stand. I mean, it is your last stand because Entity Gaming will be getting up to 14 rounds. So, well, I'm a little disappointed how this game has turned out for Brutality, but on the flip side as well, I am glad for Entity that they sort of look like they're on the course to get back to winning ways. Anyway.
I mean, all that hard work and practice has paid off, because I know for a fact that Equitas has been grilling them over the past couple of days in practice, to try and smoothen out the kinks and smoothen out the rough edges. And it looks to have been it looks to be paying off, at least on the T side. Their CT side still requires a little bit of work on Inferno, but all in good time. All in good time.
Yep, and now, well, this is mostly a throwaway round for coming in. Entity Gaming should not have a problem picking this up unless the CZs on A-Star and Venom go absolutely mental and prove us wrong. But anyway, now Entity Gaming on their T side actually have looked pretty impressive, and Brutality with their lack of aggression basically have dug themselves into a hole, and that hole is basically going to become a 5-round deficit at the end of this. At the end of this round, assuming nothing goes wrong for Entity Gaming. But of course, we have seen Brutality are the comeback kings, by the way. They managed to close out games, and there you go. Venom does get a frag onto Amaterasu, but he is, fortunately for Entity Gaming, instantly traded out by Marzel. And we're down to 4v4, but it's a really slow round, by the way, coming in by Entity Gaming.
And I like it. They're just allowing Brutality. They may want Brutality to overthink it and cause an over-rotation. And that one kill towards the B... I think this would be the right time for Hellranger to make a little bit of noise towards the B bomb site to maybe peel off a player from A to B. Or vice versa. Just make noise somewhere so that something happens. Marzel with that Mac 10. He loves this gun, by the way. He's like jumping accuracy for the win. Rick spotting him out. He needs to be careful. Rick's... because he just has the USP. Had he had the CZ in that range, I'd say Marzel needs to be careful because that CZ is OP as hell. And, well, there we go. Marzel getting picked off by A-Star's CZ. Venter needs to be careful. He's all alone. Helps on the way Foxy, but he's stuck behind a smoke. And both the players just have the default pistols, so not much in terms of firepower. Nothing in terms of firepower, rather.
And the cleanup job coming in.
Yeah.
There isn't much here. Juventus somehow has managed to sneak all the way into the dark position, but Hellranger does finally take him down. He did go frightfully low right there, but I mean, just one casualty, right? Well, 2 casualties, and both the casualties were the SMGs, so not a problem for Entity Gaming there. And now Brutality. A-Star though, no utility at all on him. Venom low on utility as well. Only 1 Molotov onto Foxy. Brutality now really need to get aggressive and get some map control and get the man advantage early on because just sitting just the turtle setup has not been working out for them. And Brutality there do try to go for some B aggression, but I like it as well. It's the VP aggression, right? It's the half aggressor onto Banana, and their A defense as well is pretty interesting. Juventa and A-Star basically sitting on top of each other.
Marzel still with the Mac 10. I mean, I get it. I get bringing that out on the gun rounds, but please give your opponents some respect. This is Brutality, not run-of-the-mill, ranty team. But okay, as I say that, Marzel jumps down, gets 1 kill. Good for 1 kill, but immediately traded out. Marzel need not have gone for the weapon switch just then. Could have actually done more damage onto Foxy if he still wielded that Mac 10. Could have possibly even gotten the kill.
That double pit setup though has been found out by Marzel. Hellranger has sneaked into right next to Library. He does get the kill onto Rix. Rix not expecting it. Venom does get the trade, but he's instantly traded by Falcon as well. But we're back to a 2v2 situation because Foxy has got the kill onto Amaterasu, and now A-Star should be hearing this. He should have heard that that Falcon and Sai have gotten on their horse and they're hightailing it towards the B-bomb site. No smoke though for the cross. A-Star, this is all on timing. The op though, getting A-Star, and that's great cover coming out by Sai there. Foxy now in a 1v2 situation, and unfortunately for him, they need to go for this. Well,
yeah, they've got no choice. Either play for the overtime.
They're going to play for the overtime now because Foxy is turning around, picking up Rix's op, and he's going to try to keep it alive. Trying to get some free grenades there as well, but he isn't so lucky. But Entity Gaming, I don't think they're going to hunt this because they are probably going to expect that Brutality is going to come, that Foxy is going to come in for the retake.
And the thing is, that round, while the A defenders that very, very well, they got the trades, they brought it down to a 2v2. The rotation was a bit too slow. They should have just gone for the retake together and not sent A-Star on his, on a solo YOLO mission for information at that point. You can't afford to give up the man advantage like that. Again, in my opinion, I could be wrong. I've never been a player. Adi, you're the analyst. Would you like to chime into that little bit of, a brain fart, as some may call it?
Sorry, wait, I wasn't paying attention. What did you ask me?
I said that I feel that it was a misplay coming out from Brutality to send A-Star on a fact-finding mission on a 2v2 on the retake.
Yes, I completely agree. They should have retaken that together. But of course, you can't fault him as well, right? He was just going for the cross kill. He didn't really overcommit there or anything. It was just a really great play coming in by Sai with the op. So I can't really fault A-Star there because, like I said, he did not commit. But anyway, this round is already started. Rick's getting picked off by Amaterasu, who is down to 7 points of health. But it's not going to matter because it is a 5v4 and Juventa, he's only on the CZ. He's going to peek out and he's not going to get any joy with that CZ. Hellranger with a frag on him. Now we're back down to a 3v5. But at this point, it's basically a 1v5 for Foxy. Venom getting taken out as well. And Foxy does get one frag, does get the second. Foxy will get the third. He's going to put in work for his team right there. And A-Star gets a frag as well on the Marzel. And all of a sudden, it's a 2v1. A 2v5 being thrown by Entity Gaming. Sai in a 1v2 now. What in the world just happened there? The flurry of frags. And just some great play coming out by Foxy there. And they have C4 control as well. But if anyone can do it, it is Sai. He's pulled out weirder clutches out of his ass in the past, and he definitely has spotted out Sai now. A-Star, sorry, but Foxy will peek out. A-Star setting him up with the pop flash, and the op being retrieved as well. Brutality from the ashes of hell managed to find a round which should not have been theirs in 9 times out of 10, basically.
I mean, Foxy, that round, he just showed you guys a masterclass on how to play Motorbox on the A defense. Like, he just used that cover to his advantage so well, just juking, ducking, weaving. He was like a Muhammad Ali. Like, he floated like a butterfly and stung like a goddamn bee. And everybody who came in his path was just knocked out, one clothesline after the other.
And now Brutality. They have adjusted again. They're playing 2 at the apartments and 3 at the B bomb site. But again, the aggression actually has not been panning out for Brutality. So I can understand why they're just playing this defensive setup. And for now, it does look like they have made the correct gamble because it does look like Entity Gaming wants to execute onto this B bomb site. Sai setting up a Molotov for the for the first and second oranges. Another Molotov going in for the third orange as well. A-Star peeking out in the smoke, but he's going to run into the Molotov and he's going to burn alive. So is Venom, completely flashed, but Foxy does get a frag onto Marzel, but he's instantly traded by Hellranger. That execute was absolutely perfect by Entity. A perfect execute coming in. And now Rix and Juventa in a 2v3 situation, but Hellranger is basically dead.
I know, but he's still got the AK, that one-shot headshot potential. You can never count out a T with full, like even 1 HP because, oh, nice shot. An immediate trade coming in from Sai, and that 16-10, it ends in favor of Entity Gaming. At least one team is back to winning ways. Adi, any closing thoughts?
Yep, Brutality definitely needs to play their counter-terrorist side a lot more aggressive than they did. Inferno is about map control, it's about banana control, it's about apartments control. If you don't have that, you're probably going to lose the game, and that's what happened to Brutality there. But that's it from our side. I was Adi, and I was joined by Fet. You can find me, by the way, on Facebook or Twitter. It's /officialadi. And Fet, what about you?
At Archeeseman.
And so there you go. You can find him on /Archeeseman on Facebook. But anyway, we're gonna sign off
Twitter.
now. Well, on Twitter. Sorry. We're gonna sign off now. We're gonna go to the studio where Bagish and Gautam are waiting for you.
I think it's the studio, it's not the game, but that was epic. That was epic, and that's the way CS should happen. What a close game. Brutality tried so much to level it out, try to push it, try to be the comeback kings they are, but sadly they could not. 16-10 in favor of Entity Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. This game goes in the favor of Entity Gaming, and also second loss of Brutality, and also second loss of Brutality. The second loss of... Stop laughing.
We don't
dude.
have time. Okay, let's go.
Fine, dude. Let me just say what my emotions. Esports. Okay. This is second loss of Brutality here after they lost to SRA. This is the second game
Yeah.
they've lost in the Masters League to Entity Gaming. And this also marks a change of tides for Entity Gaming, who've lost the previous 2 games they've played. But now, change is the name of the game. We'll take a quick commercial break here because we are seriously on the running end of